Thanks everybody for coming. A few things, I'd like to thank Zafiris for helping out. We put about a total of, 120 hours into this effort. Okay.
This is something I would like to know. People come with suggestions. What people who are not involved don't know that to put this event together between Alex, myself, and Dimitris Liapas, and the program for Greek studies here, to whom we owe the hospitality and this room and everything we get, is more than 120 hours. This means that for everybody who is here, it's about 1 hour of work and to organize the event. And this is also going to the board of the two organizations who helped put it together. So please propose events, but also, if you want to come and help on the other side, it's a lot of work, but it's definitely worth it.
Thank you. Following on what Zafiris said, I'd like to say that it took a lot of effort, and some of you are members of both organizations, some of you are members of one, some of you are sponsors of one or the other. We need your support to survive, and please feel free to join as sponsors or members. Attend our event on March 31st. We're honoring three great Greek Americans, Andrew Lever, CEO of Dow Chemical, Fedon Papamikhail, who is an acclaimed cinematographer, and Congresswoman Shelley Berkeley. It's on March 31st. If you can come and support, it's a nice event. About 400 people show up, for those that don't know about it. I don't want to sound like a used car salesman, so I'll stop with that. I'd like to recognize a few people that are here and that are instrumental in the organization, besides Zafiris and Takis. Takis also brought the wine, so thank you for that. Dimitris Liapas, he's the director of the Modern Greek Studies here. He helped us a lot with this event, and he's been tirelessly promoting the most important thing that keeps Greeks together in the diaspora, language. He's teaching here, and we try to support him as much as we can. The Consul General of Cyprus, Andreas Kyprianidis, a founding member of the American Hellenic Council, is here. Unfortunately, Ms. Fotiadou had a previous engagement. She couldn't join us, but she sends her regards, Consul General of Greece. Thanks to Nick for shooting the video so we can broadcast it over the internet. Last but not least, our two professors and speakers, Professor of Economics at UCI, Dr. Skaperdas, and Professor of Economics at NYU Stern, Dr. Nick Economides, who believes so strongly in his position that he came here from San Francisco to present it. This is a conversation with the goal of educating and informing the spirit of the First Amendment. So please keep your questions brief. The Q&A section civil. I know it's tense times. Half of Athens is on fire. Time permitting, we'll take all the questions. So to step up and provide a little background for those that are not familiar with the situation. Today was a critical day for Greece. And it's probably a critical day in a series of critical days. As Greek Prime Minister Papadimos said, Greece is facing the largest crisis since 1974. Sadly, Hellenism is at the brink of another fourth tragedy since the end of World War II. First being the Civil War, the second the 1967 junta, and the third the loss of Cyprus, or part of Cyprus. There is a variety of reasons one can say brought the country where it is today. Starting in the 1980s, Greece started financing an economic expansion and a public sector expansion primarily through external borrowing. Greek debt to GDP ratios started ballooning, reaching about 160% last year. Tax evasion ran rampant, and excessive bureaucracy choked the private sector growth. Past EU aid geared towards productive investments was to a large extent squandered, while several sectors of the economy slowly became uncompetitive in a new open global market. Since 2001, a country that was used to regain competitiveness through a sliding exchange rate peg, coupled with periodic devaluations, now faced a fixed exchange and abandoned control of its monetary policy. The drachma was abandoned at a rate of 175 to the Deutschmark in 2001. If the same devaluation that took place from 1981 to 2001 were to be extended in the 2001 to 2012 period, the rate would be 500 to 1. Instead, it was kept at the same level. So in 10 years, Greece was, in real terms, 3 times more expensive. And this was all fine until the global credit crunch of 2008 and the subsequent revelation on behalf of the Papandreou government that public deficit and debt were understated. Greece was facing the same problems as the rest of the Western world, but it was the ugliest of the ugly sisters. It was suddenly shut out of international markets, unable to finance its needs. So as most of us know, in May 2010, the EU, ECB, and IMF, more commonly known as the Troika, supplied Greece with emergency borrowing in the amount of 110 billion euros at 5.5% for 3 years in exchange for harsh austerity measures targeting having as a goal internal devaluation, a so-called memorandum or mnemonium. Crisis cutbacks, austerity measures, and internal devaluation shrunk the GDP by 15% in 3 years, while unemployment touched 20.9% last month. Shrinking of the economy and backtracking and restructuring caused Greece to need another lifeline of loans. So in June 2011 and subsequently in October 2011, the Troika agreed to supply Greece with another 110 billion euros, pending agreement of the private sector involvement, PSI, and agreement by private holders of Greek government bonds to take voluntary partial loss or haircut in their holdings, and agreement on the part of the Greek government to continue with additional austerity measures. The October 2011 agreement brought down the Greek government of Papandreou, which was replaced by the technical government of former Bank of Greece governor Lukas Papadimos. So, most recently last week, the Papadimos government agreed to additional austerity measures in exchange for Greek bank recapitalization of 30 billion euros and 100 billion euros in addition by the Troika. Package was voted into Parliament, I guess, a few hours ago, and that's where it brings us today. So I'll let our 2 speakers take over presenting the opposing arguments. Dr. Economides, welcome.